This is the second time in my life in such cold water. I barely lasted about 20 seconds. That's me in the same spot a week later, sitting there calmly for 7 minutes at 5:30 in the morning. Let me show you how I got there. Day 1. I got a message about people doing cold plunges in a nearby lake on a weekly basis. I tried that once, years ago, and decided to join them. It is called morsowanie in Polish, which means walrusing, like walrus. I took a jog uphill to warm up. The first snow of the season was falling, so the conditions were perfect. Once I got there, I stripped and went into the water immediately. Some of these guys can stay there for half an hour. I bailed before half a minute, but realized that there's something interesting for me in that cold water. I'm in, I thought to myself, and decided to come back here tomorrow. Day 2. A brutal 5 AM wake up, when I could normally sleep for 2 more hours before I get up for work. I felt like I needed to go there alone, when nobody will be there for sure. I ran all the way up to the lake to warm myself up properly. The light that I had used for filming was terrible and not much can be seen. I decided to fix that after seeing the footage. There's a makeshift open-air changing room there, so it is convenient to hang all of my stuff on the provided hooks. I strip naked and go into the water just in my slippers. I crouch in the water so it covers my body to the neck. 40 seconds in and I had enough. Still twice as long as yesterday. I'm happy that I did it and decide to do it for the whole week as a little experiment. I fixed the light issue by taping it below the camera instead of wearing it on my head. Day 3. I took a second headlamp, but it was just jumping on my head, so I got rid of it later. The temperature has risen a bit, but the snow hasn't completely melted yet. I'm jogging constantly uphill and filming it doesn't help at all. It is very cold, but who cares? There's no room for hesitation or bargaining. I need to go right after I strip or I will cool too much. The water in the lake is steaming a bit, which means that it is still warmer than the air surrounding it. Although it is very cold and uncomfortable. I'm happy to be here, showing myself that I can do it and it is all up to me. I lasted for over 2 minutes, which is 5 times longer than the first time. I feel fantastic and can move mountains. Day 4. Not so happy about going out, but there's no way that I'm not going either. I think that's the point, forcing myself to do something I don't want to do, just to feel great about it 15 minutes later. There's so little time and space separating me from those two opposite emotions. While sitting in the water, I try to imagine that I'm not there and that the water is warm. I feel that I'm tapping into something huge and important, something much bigger and wiser than I'll ever be. I feel serenity and happiness. I think about what people who I shared this with told me.
Why on earth are you doing this?
Dude, one crab and you're gone, bro.
You will drown there.
Why are you hurting yourself like that?
You're crazy? Like, I would never do that? You gotta eat lightning and crap thunder.
I spent more than 4 minutes there, with no proof of that because my battery died. Day 5. Another rough morning with the light feeling like a punch to the face. But I remember vividly how I was longing to go into that water when I was going to sleep yesterday. I remind myself that the resistance is futile and I'm running outside just minutes later. The initial shock of going into the water subsides and is replaced with anticipation and a feeling of victory. I have conquered my biggest and only enemy yet again, and I will tomorrow as well. I'm still half asleep, but the cold wakes me up gently, 1 minute at a time. I feel that my body warms a thin layer of water around me, and I'm trying not to disturb it by breathing too deeply. I feel nice and cozy despite the situation that I'm in. 4 minutes today, and I'm off to start the day. Day 6. A crisis overshadows me, and I really don't want to do this today. That's an important moment in my little experiment, because this is when I need to do this the most. I hit the pillow, but get up after a few seconds. One insincere smile later, I'm ready to go while still having second thoughts. It became somewhat normal to me, getting into this morning coldness with the thermal shock completely gone by now. I enjoy every minute of it, trying to focus on directing the warmth into my toes. I decide to get my diving shoes tomorrow to get that feeling out of the way, but I feel like it's kind of cheating. Some animals roam around at the shore nearby, but I don't care about them and even enjoy their company. What would I supposed to be doing about it anyway, given my situation? The more ridiculous it is, the better for me. The ducks are laughing at my weakness from the other side of the lake. It's been almost 7 minutes by now anyway, so I decide to get up and start another day. The worst part is behind me already, and it could only get better from now on. Day 7. The last day of the experiment. Tired but happy, I get up and go out without any hesitation. I'm packing heavy this time, with diving shoes, a bathrobe, and an additional source of light. There's no one on the street but me, and it already feels like a normal start of the day for me. As such a lazy person as me, I would never expect to be able to do this so consistently, and it makes me think what else I'm capable of that I've seen as impossible before. I get to the spot and try to put my shoes on, but cannot slide the foot inside. With no time to waste, I reach for my backup slippers and get to the shore. The feeling of sweet success makes this sitting especially pleasant one until the rain picks up and forces me to exit the water. I feel like I could stay there twice as long, and that I have awakened some power in me that I haven't even had any idea about before coming here for the first time. I dress myself, put the bathrobe on, and bow to the lake, thanking it for all the valuable lessons that it has taught me in such short amount of time. I'm very happy with myself, with right now, with everything. I'm calm and confident that everything is going to be alright, and that I am the master of my own fate. It is the end of the experiment, and I don't plan to come here tomorrow. But later that day, I learned about Wim Hof. So how can I stop now?